Kat Carasello, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about combining 3 different card types that are part of the Journey Circles process. Each of the cards, there are 5 different card types in Journey Circles, can be purchased independently, can be worked with in all kinds of different ways, but I want to show you part of the beauty of these different sizes and symbols in Journey Circles and how flexible and fluid they are. You can use them in incredibly evocative ways and add to your expressive art modalities and your repertoire as a creative. So the sacred circle is a big part of the Journey Circles process. It is the womb. It is the tomb. It is the mirror. It represents the beginning and the end. It represents a place of birthing and emerging. It's the form of the sun and the moon. There is such an ancient energy that is held both in the circle and the spiral, that this card creates a beautiful container of energy, a container for your stories so that you can surface your stories and work with them in dynamic and individual ways. I think of the spiral path cards as the vessels or the big containers. And then the key cards, which are really amazing clues. They fit right inside of the spiral path. Then the compass cards are wayfinders, and they nest in as well. So you can start to see these are nesting energies, and they all connect. The spiral path, the key, and the compass are connected symbols. And they make sense to use together, but also to support your creative in quite distinctive ways. So let's create one of each and see how they nest together. So if I am going to just start creating, I might just turn over, and you're always going to create, you want to cover over the logo so that you're creating onto the symbol, but you have the symbol to use. So I might just start with laying down some patterns. This is sometimes the best way to begin, is to just choose the images that speak to you and see, do they want to be cut or torn? And this bear, I kind of get the sense, he wants to be kind of cut out on one side, so I can sort of feel all that edgy fur, and then some of these smooth cuts are giving me, a different kind of an energetic connection. So this bear goes in and then has its own placement. There's something that connects the images together rather than me overthinking. I'm trusting and touching the imagery. And then something occurs like this, where actually this wants to go in first. And then the bear maybe gets placed here. So I'm definitely feeling, and I'm choosing pretty quickly. I call this quick fire collage. It's a very simple way to kind of move into the creative without getting caught up. But right away, I'm feeling like this queen bee and this bear have some work to do with each other. Then I think, this feels like it wants to maybe be included. Energetically, I want sort of this color over here. So I pay attention to color, form, energy, but not in a pretty random way. Again, I don't want to overthink, but I am feeling my way into relationship with this image, and the image is starting to form itself. Again, think of this sacred circles container, and the container wants to draw in its own images, its own energies. So I can lift up with my glue stick and place down. I'm starting to feel like this is starting to find its form. It's interesting that there's this little beehive paper available to me, and this queen bee came. So that's really, that's like connecting clues, isn't it, for me? When you get some symbolism that starts to find its partnering. Okay, so that feels fairly complete for now. I don't have to know what I've created to feel the energy that's surfacing, and then I would cut this over. Just cut it out on the other side. You're following along the edge of the circle itself. It's pretty thick, so it creates almost an edge that the scissors just want to cut right around. You can even tear out and let those raw images kind of be raw on the edge. You can also go back in, you can paint over these images. You can add sort of a Sharpie if you want to add like a gold edge. So lots of people have their own techniques, and it's fun to share those ideas in different communities. So there is the spiral path. And there's our bear. So now I'm looking for the key. The key, and this queen bee is quite significant energetically too. So the key, is there a story that I am unlocking? That might be an intentional way for me to use the key. Or is there an intuitive way that I want to bring in some moody energy? So maybe I want to work with some emotional energy, and I say, hey, there's a stormy sky, there's a storm brewing, and something in this story needs some of this stormy energy. And we can all relate to times in life when things are not clear, and there's a lot of disruption. So this image, which is very odd kind of little figures, might want to come in and just be kind of part of that brewing, stewing, stormy energy. And here's another bit of dark sky. And I like tearing, but tearing isn't, the only way to create these. I like tearing because it's moving energy. That feels really good to me. Oh, here's just some interesting patterns. I think this is the netting on a hat. So it really isn't anything that has to do with the image isn't important. It's the texture, the color seems to speak to me. A lot of blue and gray energy here that feels important. And so I'm just playing and letting this find its way. Again, these are clues. What are keys? Keys turn and open locked places. And clues help us to seek and find things that are missing or locked away or waiting to be opened. So again, I would just cut this key card over. And this is an image that I would really love to add a word or two in so that there's a little bit more energy on this key card. And I think that would help me to make real sense of this, because of course there's still some mystery here. Again, I'm just cutting around the outside. It doesn't have to be perfect. So here we have our key card, and we have our bear, and the key can float inside the bear. And so here's some words. Our own hearts. Let's see. Our own hearts. There's something there that feels important. So I'm gonna take those words and I'm going to just add them in. Can even cut them out and make them a little bit neater. Our own hearts. So there's something in this dark blue energy that's speaking to me about the stormy way that our own heart is met by the strength of the bear, the sovereignty of the queen. How can I meet myself and open my heart using the energy or exploring the energy of this beautiful she-bear, the strength and the sovereignty of the queen? So if I were to add another card, if I wanted to create a little wayfinder, another direction, I could add a compass card and make a set. And then these three could work together. So it gives you a sense of how to expand process and how to develop a new language that is all your own, using images, form, shape, and symbol.